Hello and welcome to FusionQA, episode number 2 of Testing with Water. In today's episode, we will be talking all about text fields. We'll talk about how to locate or find a text field on a page, how to enter text in a text field, how to get the value inside of a text field, and how to clear or delete all text in that text field. You want to make sure you have the prerequisites installed, which is Ruby and the Water gem. If you don't, you can check out the show notes or contact us and we can help you with that. So I already have my IRB session started up here, my interactive Ruby session in my terminal, and let's get started. So I just required the Water library, so we have the Water library to use, and then I created a Water browser instance here with this Chrome browser and set that equal to a variable of browser. Alright, so now what we did here was we took that browser variable and we said .goto, so we used the goto method, and we specified this URL right here. So we want to go to this demo page here just so we can interact with these text boxes for our demonstration. Now, what we want to do on this page is we're going to interact with this username text field. Right, so first thing we want to do is inspect this this text field, right? So I right click on here and I click inspect. And so what this pulls up for me is right here, it tells me all of the element information here. And so what we want to do is we want to locate this text box by the ID username, and using an ID is one of the more common ways to locate an element. So we're going to go ahead and try to locate this text box of username using the ID, and the ID equals username, and ID is one of the common ways to locate an element. So we're going to go ahead and do something like this. So as you can see here, we basically use that browser variable, and then we did .text field, right? Because we're looking for a text field, so we said, okay, we added this text field method, and we said we want within parentheses. What we did was we said, okay, we're gonna find or locate the text field, with the ID, right? So ID colon, and then we put the name of the ID, which is username in quotes right there. You can use single quotes or double quotes, and it found it for us. The next thing you can do is if you want to check if that text field is present on the page, right? We can see it's present, but for example, in your test, if you want to see it's present, what you could do is, so you would do the same thing as we did before, right, in the previous step, but you would just do .present and a question mark at the end, and this returns true, meaning it's present, it's there, it's visible, it's present on the page, right? So that'll tell us if it's available for us to use and interact with. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to insert some text into this text field, right? It's blank, it's empty right now. So we'll do here the same thing from before, browser.textfield ID username .set, and then so we're now doing this .set method, right? .set. This .set method, and then in quotes you want to put whatever text you want to enter into the text field. So in this case we want to put in FusionQA, and when I hit enter, we'll notice that FusionQA is populated into this text field of the username, right? So now the next thing what we want to do is we want to try to retrieve the value inside this text field, right? The value inside this text field. So let's even maybe add some stuff here manually. FusionQA, we can just put testing, right? So now in this text field it says FusionQA testing, and I want to retrieve that value programmatically. So what I'll do is something like this, and then what we're going to do is .value. This .value method will retrieve the text, the value inside the text field. See, so it returns FusionQA testing, and that's exactly what we have here in the text field. What we'll take a look at is if we want to delete or clear all of the contents inside that text field, right? So notice right now we said FusionQA testing, so I want to remove all of that text. So again, what we'll do is we're going to use the same old, as we did before, browser.textfield ID username. And then the method we're going to do is .clear. .clear will remove everything inside of this text field. There you go. Everything is gone. Now, one thing before we end the episode is using this over and over again, becomes, it's not the best way to do it or the best practice, right? So what you could do is you could store this in a variable, this whole thing, right? So you could say something like text field equals, and then just put this whole thing inside that variable, right? And now I've stored this text field inside the variable text field, right? Text field equals browser.textfield ID username. So now I can do the same old commands that we did in the demo. So .set, I can do textfield.set and FusionQA, and you'll see it enters the text like that. Textfield.value, it returns FusionQA, textfield.clear, and it removes the text there. So that's a little easier and better, cleaner way of organizing your test scripts, and instead of repeating yourself over and over again. That wraps up this episode. I hope it was of benefit. If you have any suggestions or questions, please leave a comment below or email me at Farooq@FusionQA.net. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Connect with us on social media. The show notes and other details are in the description. Thanks for watching.